Why did you get into administration?
Well, getting into education in general, I have a passion for leadership. So I always saw myself getting into administration someday. And I took the classes and whatnot, and there was an opportunity to potentially work for Mr. Thrush because he got the job. I interviewed with him and whatnot, and I guess I just knew this might be the time to learn under someone that I admire and that I knew was going to mentor me and help me succeed. So the passion for leadership and also just knowing that Mr. Thrush was our building principal.
What makes Mr. Jones special to the high school and the students here?
I think the biggest thing is his empathy, his ability to get to know the kids, get to know the teachers, get to know, a lot of times students are referred to him for discipline issues, and that's the only time he really gets to deal with them. Instead of just looking at that as a negative, he takes the time to get to know the kid, find out the story, what's going on. Is there something maybe at home or something else happening in the school that's leading to them, having problems? And he tries to get to the bottom of those problems and the causes and solve those instead of just dealing with the discipline issues.
Mr. Jones has a way of being always very, very positive with our kids, very upbeat with our kids, but also so consistent and fair in the way that he treats every kid here. And he would be the first to tell you, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter what you're involved in here, he's consistent and fair with them all.
He stops a lot of fights, I would say. He's an ear to talk to. He can help many students in a day.
Mr. Jones demonstrates leadership in a lot of different ways, but most importantly is he treats people fairly and treats people the way he would like to be treated, and that leadership in itself goes a long way.
Even though he watches over all of us teachers, he kind of is our boss. We can look to him. He gives us a lot of advice, and he's always been a great leader, both when he played football, baseball, and also as a regular classroom teacher. And he's been very inspirational.
Now that you're an administrator, why do you still coach?
Well, again, I've been coaching for 15 years, and it's just been a part of my life, but at the same time, it allows me to continue to connect with those kids. I also feel that, I want kids to see me not just as a disciplinarian at the high school, that, I'm here for kids, and I want to be involved and continue to mentor them outside of the school day.
Do you have a favorite impactful moment with Mr. Jones?
Well, I can tell you, and for all the kids out there that are still in the high school, when Coach Jones was in high school and he played on the baseball team, him and another one of his friends were always going at it. They were always wrestling, doing stuff. One time on the way to the baseball field for practice, I had to break them up. They were in a wrestling match, and they just went at it all the time.
What would he like to be doing? Man, that's a good one. Probably being a sports writer or a professional card player. I know he likes to play cards, so that would be his, he'd probably try to be on PokerStars.net or something like that.
If I wasn't in the school, I'm big into finances too, so I like dealing with finances in general. So maybe a financial advisor, I would say. I enjoy that stuff. And again, I also look at that though, that's helping people. So it's just working with people.
How has your relationship with Mr. Jones evolved over the time that you've known him?
I would say at the beginning of me knowing him, I definitely wanted to fight him. Going into my junior year, I was definitely getting in a lot of trouble, and he helped me find out who I truly was as a person and what I could do with my talents, and definitely opened my mind up and helped me find motivation to do good in life and succeed.
I believe Mr. Jones graduated probably around the year 2000, and I was fortunate enough to have him as a student in a foods class. It would be interesting to ask his wife if he uses any of those skills that he learned. But I remember him as a pretty quiet, well-mannered student, and I think a lot of that has influenced him throughout the years. He became a teacher then eventually. I think he's really proud to be a Wildcat.
How has Mr. Jones impacted you?
Well, I think You know, Mr. Jones played for me in football and baseball. You know, I have him as a coach on my staff. He's a friend of mine. He's also my boss, so he's impacted my life quite a bit.
It's really important these days. People are making sure students are safe at their schools, and I really think he's somebody that really makes me feel safe at school.
If you could give students one piece of advice, what would it be?
Biggest advice I'd give to the kids at Kenton High School would definitely be take full advantage of the opportunities that we provide. I firmly believe if they take advantage of the things that we provide, they are going to be successful. We've had a lot of successful, and I mean a lot of successful kids graduate from Kenton High School because they've taken advantage of what we provide and had a very good experience while they were here.